Adios. I'd like to call this council meeting to order. Would you please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance? Councilman Curry, in honor of your birthday, would you please lead us in the pledge, please?
Yes, I will. Please join me. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of prayer or silent meditation. Thank you. Just a reminder to council members, make sure you're speaking to the mic and to our audience. Make sure your cell phones are on vibrate or airplane mode. Could I get a roll call, please?
Councilman Holtz.
Present.
Councilman Curry.
Here.
Councilwoman King.
Here.
Councilman Mishler.
Present.
Councilman Fish.
Here.
Councilwoman Hines.
Here.
Councilman Crabtree. Councilman Hinkie. President Dawson.
Present. Can I get a motion for minutes for approval for the June 24th, 2026 council meeting?
Motion to approve.
Motion for Mrs. Hines.
Second.
Second for Mr. Hinkie. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of July 6, 2026 city council meeting?
Motion to approve.
Got a motion for Mrs.
Second.
Hines, second for Mr. Fish. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of July 14, 2026 special meeting tax abatement?
Motion to approve.
Motion for Mrs.
Second.
Hines, second for Mr. Fish. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Presentation and introductions, we have none. Reports of council committees, we have none. Ordinance on second and third reading. Would you read proposed ordinance 26-0-26 by title, please?
Proposed ordinance 26-0-26, an ordinance appropriating $66,017.39 for the aviation fund to fund other funds account and authorizing the controller to transfer the funds to the aviation federal fund.
Thank you. Can I get a motion and a second to adopt this ordinance?
So moved.
to approve.
I got a
Second.
motion by Mr. Hinkie, second by Mr. Fish. Council discussion. Mr. Hinkie.
Could we go either with Mr. Jones or someone just to break this down into the matching funds, the federal funds? Oh, hi. Involved.
Good evening, Tanisha Weigelt with BFNS Engineering Firm on the project. It is a reimbursable grant.
Pull that mic down just a little. There you go.
It is a reimbursable grant, so the total amount, which you'll see in your next appropriation, is $2,320,765.06. Of the total amount, what we're just discussing, Elkhart will pay for the $66,017.39. That's 2.5% of the total project, which includes the contingency. That's the combined total amount. We think it'll come under when they're finished with everything, but that includes the contingency as well. And then NDOT's match is, again, 2.5%, which is $50,782.61. And the rest is paid by the federal grant, by the FAA.
Okay, and so when the project is complete, the city of Elkhart will be returned which amount?
You'll be returned everything except for the $66,017.39.
And then, based on state rules, the money is to be returned where it originated?
The originated part, it goes back to the city of Elkhart.
Right. So when the controller answers that, I just want to make sure that it's where the cost is derived. I just want to make sure it goes back to its original place.
Okay.
Okay.
It's reimbursed and sent back to the city from.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you. Any other council discussion? Seeing none, I'll open up to the public. Is anyone from the public would like to speak? Seeing none, returning back to the council. Any other council discussion? Seeing none, Melody, I'm sorry, Mr. Hinkie?
Yeah. So we're replacing the runway, and I wanted to find out from Mr. Jones the age of the runway and how it was determined to need replacement.
Sure. Last time, I think, was in the 1980s.
Who are you? Who are you, sir?
Pardon me?
Who are you?
Andy Jones, the Elkhart Municipal Airport Director.
Thank you.
It was in the 1980s was the last time that surface, which is 4,000 feet long asphalt, was replaced. Over the years, it's got huge cracks and crevices. So NDOT, every 3 years, or 2 to 3 years, comes around and inspects all airports and then provides a report to the FAA so they can have an idea of where the priority of their funding should go. In other words, which airports are in the worst shape. They go by safety, so runways, taxiways are safety items. Lighting would be, if we were an air carrier airport, towers would be, and TSA and other things. So this, climbed to the top of priority in terms of safety. So it was time. The Board of Aviation Commissioners, working with the administration, submit a 5-year capital improvement plan to the FAA and state. So these projects, move through and, they can change, be rearranged from time to time. So everybody has a pretty good idea of what items need to be funded when. It helps the feds with their ability to be able to fund as well. So this one was no surprise. Next year, they'll move on to the lighting. The lighting on the runway is due to be replaced. It's still, the old incandescent needs to be LED lighting, and the signage as well. So that's another grant that will be coming in the next couple of years, hopefully.
So in the equation, do they look at the number of flights, landings, takeoffs as part of it? Because honestly, it sounds as though any municipality that doesn't manage their airport and runways would have the ability to have the federal government step into it. So there must be
Yeah.
more to the equation.
Well, one of the reasons it's taken so long to get the funding to replace is because we did maintain it pretty well. Crack sealing. They also, the aviation feds and the state also ask for a annual pavement rehabilitation effort that you put into. They want to know how much you spent and what you've done to maintain it. I think that probably goes into the equation as well. It's, to me, it's kind of it's a little bit of a convoluted way they go about deciding where the funds go. But as long as they decide to come to us, I'm happy.
Thank you.
So, you bet.
Thank you. Any other questions from the council? Thank you, Mr. Hinkie. Seeing none, I'll open up to the public. Is there anyone in the public that would like to speak with regards to this ordinance? Seeing none, returning back to the council. Melody, would you do a roll call vote on second reading, please?
Councilman Holtz.
Aye.
Councilman Curry.
Yes.
Councilwoman King.
Yes.
Councilman Mishler.
Aye.
Councilman Fish.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hines.
Yes.
Councilman Hinkie.
Aye.
President Dawson.
Aye.
Third and final, please.
Got a motion for Mr. Hinkie, second for Mrs. Hines for third and final. Any other council discussion? Seeing none, Melody, would you read this by title and do a roll call vote, please?
Proposed ordinance 26-0-26, an ordinance appropriating $66,017.39 from the Aviation Fund to other funds account and authorizing the controller to transfer the funds to the Aviation Federal Fund. Councilman Holtz.
Aye.
Councilman Curry.
Yes.
Councilwoman King.
Yes.
Councilman Mishler.
Aye.
Councilman Fish.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hines.
Yes.
Councilman Hinkie.
Aye.
President Dawson.
Aye.
Passes 8-0.
Thank you. Would you read proposed ordinance 26-0-27 by title, please?
Proposed ordinance 26-0-27, an ordinance appropriating $2,320,765.06 from the Aviation Federal Fund for the rehabilitation of the runway 18/36 at the Elkhart Municipal Airport.
Can I get a motion and a second to adopt this on second reading?
Second.
Mr. Hinkie, second by Mr. Fish. Council discussion. Seeing none, I'll open up to the public. Is there anyone in the public who would like to speak with regards to this ordinance? Seeing none, I'll return it back to the council. Any further council discussion? Seeing none, Melody, would you do a roll call vote on second reading, please?
Councilman Holtz.
Aye.
Councilman Curry.
Yes.
Councilwoman King.
Yes.
Councilman Mishler.
Aye.
Councilman Fish.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hines.
Yes.
Councilman Hinkie. President Dawson.
Aye.
Third and final.
Second.
Motion for Mrs. Hines, second for Mr. Fish from third and final. Any other council discussions? Seeing none, Melody, would you read it by title and do a roll call vote, please?
Proposed ordinance 26-0-27, an ordinance appropriating $2,320,765.06 from the Aviation Federal Fund for the rehabilitation of the runway 18/36 at the Elkhart Municipal Airport. Councilman Holtz.
Aye.
Councilman Curry.
Yes.
Councilwoman King.
Yes.
Councilman Mishler.
Aye.
Councilman Fish.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hines.
Yes.
Councilman Hinkie. President Dawson.
Aye.
Passes 8-0.
Thank you. Would you read proposed ordinance 26-0-28 by title, please?
Proposed ordinance 26-0-28, an ordinance adopting the Elkhart Municipal Wheel Tax and Municipal Excise Surtax and establishing the Municipal Wheel Tax Fund and the Municipal Excise Surtax Fund.
Can I get a motion and a second to adopt this on second reading?
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Hines, second by Mr. Mishler. Council discussion. Mr. Hinkie.
I just want to put back to the record, have administration correct me, but my understanding of what we've been provided is that this is not a new tax, it's a tax transfer from county to city. It doesn't represent an additional tax.
Megan Irwin, Chief of Staff. That is correct for 90% of registrations. There are a small number of commercial registrations that will see a small increase between $5 and $25.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Seeing none, thank you, Megan. I'll open it up to the public. Is there anyone in the public that would like to speak with regards to this ordinance?
My name is Ralph Spellbring. I live on 236 Bank Street out on the east side of town. When Tim Neese became mayor, Superior Street was in really bad shape. The trolleys run along there. That was resurfaced and they certainly needed it. But Bank Street and some of the residential streets were resurfaced as well. That indicated to me that the street fund had plenty of money if they were doing these residential streets with little traffic and were in good shape. Last year, I got information from the Tax Foundation on gas taxes across the country. California was number one at 78 cents. Let's see here. Washington was fifth at about 50 cents. So two of the top states with gasoline taxes were on the West Coast. Illinois was second with 67 cents. Indiana was fourth with 54 cents. Michigan was sixth with 47 cents. Pennsylvania was third with 62 cents. So three of the top 6 states border Lake Michigan. Indiana and Michigan have 2 gasoline taxes. You have a per gallon tax that goes to fund highway construction. Indiana and Michigan also impose the sales tax. That's 6% in Michigan, 7% in Indiana. When I wrote a letter to the Goshen News saying Indiana had high gasoline taxes, they refused to publish it. The editor claimed that the per gallon tax wasn't a gasoline tax. And I've got a statement to read. Counties, not cities, are the proper entities for wheel taxes. Bribing cities to approve wheel taxes is political nonsense. City wheel taxes add unneeded complexity to funding of roads and streets. Likewise, city and town income taxes add unneeded complexity to the income tax system. My name is Ralph Spellbring. Today is July 27th.
Thank you, Ralph. Is there anyone else in the audience?
Thank you, sir.
Seeing none, we turn it back to the council. Any other council discussion? Seeing none, Melody, would you do a roll call vote on second reading, please?
Councilman Holtz.
Aye.
Councilman Curry.
Yes.
Councilwoman King.
Yes.
Councilman Mishler.
Aye.
Councilman Fish.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hines.
Yes.
Councilman Hinkie.
Aye.
President Dawson.
Aye.
Third and
I got
final.
a motion from Mrs.
Second.
Hines, a second from Mr. Fish for third and final. Melody, would you read this by title and do a roll call vote?
Proposed ordinance 26-0-28, an ordinance adopting the Elkhart municipal wheel tax and municipal excise surtax and establishing the municipal wheel tax fund and the municipal excise surtax fund. Councilman Holtz.
Aye.
Councilman Curry.
Yes.
Councilwoman King.
Yes.
Councilman Mishler.
Aye.
Councilman Fish.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hines.
Yes.
Councilman Hinkie. President Dawson.
Aye.
Passes 8-0.
Thank you. Melody, would you read proposed ordinance 26-0-29 by title, please?
Proposed ordinance 26-0-29-R, an ordinance to provide for the regulation of planting, maintaining, and removing trees in the city of Elkhart, Indiana.
Can I get a motion and second to adopt this?
So moved.
Got a motion by
Second.
Mr. Fish, second by Mr. Curry. Council discussion. Mr. Hinkie?
I thought that past controller Jamie Arcee wrote a letter to the council as well as other folks and had some very appropriate remarks, and I believe that those should be visited.
Those, Mr. Hinkie, are in our acceptance of communication, and they will be revisited with a letter to Mr. Arcee from the administration signifying that all those things that he brought up were identified before this ordinance was brought to us.
And have they been addressed and corrected?
There was no need to address and correct them because they were already considered.
Can we have that on the record?
We just did.
Staff?
That's for the record, is the communication I received from the administration. Any other council discussion? Seeing none, I open it up to the public. Is there anyone in the public who would like to speak with regards to this ordinance?
Ralph Spellberg again. There's a Tree City sign along South Main Street near the bypass. Earth Day and Arbor Day were in April, so that seemed like a reasonable time for the city to plant trees. And April also had a lot of rain. Instead, they did it towards the end of May when we'd had a dry spell, so it was difficult to dig the holes. I was the only person that brought my own shovel for that event. And also they had it last Saturday. That makes no sense to me that you would hold an event like that during the Elkhart County Fair.
Thank you, Mr. Spelberg. Is there anyone else in the audience? Seeing none, we turn it back to the council. Melody, would you do a roll call vote on second reading, please?
Councilman Holtz.
Aye.
Councilman Curry.
Yes.
Councilwoman King.
Yes.
Councilman Mishler.
Aye.
Councilman Fish.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hines.
Yes.
Councilman Hinkie.
No.
President Dawson.
Aye.
Passes
Got a
7-1.
motion for Mr. Mishler, second for Mrs. Hines for third and final. Melody, would you read this by title and do a roll call vote, please?
Proposed ordinance 26-0-29-R, an ordinance to provide for the regulation of planting, maintaining, and removing trees in the city of Elkhart, Indiana. Councilman Holtz.
Aye.
Councilman Curry.
Yes.
Councilwoman King.
Yes.
Councilman Mishler.
Aye.
Councilman Fish.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hines.
Yes.
Councilman Hinkie.
No.
President Dawson.
Aye.
Passes 7-1.
Thank you. There are no ordinances or resolutions referred to committee. There are no tabled ordinances and resolutions. New business. Would you read proposed ordinance 26-0 by title, please?
Proposed ordinance 26-0-30, an ordinance
You said
vacating the
30,
park.
I'm sorry.
1 second. I'm sorry, Ms. Hinkie.
She did. Did you say 030? I thought you stopped at 0.
No, I said 030. No, I said 030. 030.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm sorry, Melody.
Proposed ordinance 26-0-30, an ordinance vacating the partial north-south alley off the West Wolf Avenue, a public way within the city of Elkhart, Indiana.
Thank you. If there are no objections, we'll pass this on the second reading. Resolution, would you please read proposed resolution 26-R-17 by title, please?
37. 37.
It is 37.
Proposed Resolution 26-R-37, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Elkhart, Indiana, confirming resolution numbers R3426, which declared a certain area in the City of Elkhart to be an economic revitalization area for the purpose of granting tax phase-in benefits to Lake Copper Conductors LLC, 160 CR 15 LLC.
Could I get a motion and a second to adopt this resolution?
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Hines, second by Mr. Curry. Council discussion. Any council discussion? Seeing none, open up to the public. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak with regards to this proposed resolution? Seeing none, turn it back to the council. Any further council discussion? Seeing none, Melody, would you do a roll call vote on this ordinance on second reading?
Councilman Holt?
Aye.
Councilman Curry?
Yes.
Councilwoman King?
Yes.
Councilman Mishler?
Aye.
Councilman Fish?
Yes.
Councilwoman Hines?
Yes.
Councilman Hinkie?
Aye.
President Dawson?
Aye.
8-0.
Thank you. Would you read proposed resolution 26-R-38 by title, please?
Proposed Resolution 26-R-38, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Elkhart, Indiana, to approve two memoranda of agreements between the City of Elkhart and Lake Copper Conductors LLC, 160 CR 15 LLC.
Thank you. Can I get a motion and a second to adopt this resolution?
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Hines, second by Mr. Fish. Council discussion. David?
If we could just have an overview, Drew, and
Yes, we can.
is this new and different? I thought this company had an open abatement.
Thank you, Councilman Hanky. Good evening, Council. Drew Wines, Economic Development. So they had an abatement that I believe was approved in like 2016, maybe even further back. That has definitely expired. We never reviewed them for compliance during my time here. Okay. So I think it was sometime in the mid 2010s is when they had a tax abatement. So this investment is $3.1 million, real estate improvements, building expansion, and new manufacturing space, and about $5.3 million in personal property for a new line that will go in the new building, and there'll be about 22 new jobs with an average annual salary of $71,000.
So the real property you said was 30 million?
3.1 million.
3.1 million.
Yeah, then 5.3 million in personal property.
Okay, and then the years of abatement are?
They have a three-year real, 3-year personal.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Drew. Any other council discussion? Seeing none, we'll open up to the public. Is there anyone in the public who would like to speak regards to this resolution? Seeing none, turn it back to the council. Melody, would you do a roll call vote on this resolution, please?
Councilman Holtz.
Aye.
Councilman Curry?
Yes.
Councilwoman King?
Yes.
Councilman Mishler?
Aye.
Councilman Fish?
Yes.
Councilwoman Hines?
Yes.
Councilman Hinkie?
Aye.
President Dawson?
Aye.
8-0.
Would you read proposed resolution 26-R-39 by title?
Proposed Resolution 26-R-39, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Elkhart, Indiana, determining whether American Technology Components Incorporated, ATC, 1127 Miles Avenue, LLC, has made reasonable efforts to substantially comply with its statement of benefits.
Can I get a motion and a second to adopt this resolution?
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Hines, second by Mr. Curry. Council discussion. Mr. Huber.
Good evening, Council. Mike Huber, Development Services Director, City of Elkhart. I just want to make a quick process and procedure comment before we get into the remaining resolutions from the phase-in compliance process. Just wanted to highlight the fact that the resolutions you see tonight and the compliance process we're going through this year, as with every year, stand alone as this year's compliance. If you rule non-compliance this evening, the default is that the company will have the ability to come back next year. The phase-in will continue. If you choose to take action above and beyond that, then we would ask that you state that as part of your non-compliance finding. If you decide you want to terminate it based on this non-compliance, be specific with that. Otherwise, they're assumed that non-compliance this year. There'll be no benefits granted this year. They'll continue to be able to come back and try to meet compliance in future years.
So to be clear, Mr. Huber, we can put them in non-compliance this year, and at the same time.
That's the default.
They could come back next year for tax
That's the
abatement.
default.
That's
Is
the
if you find them in
default.
non-compliance tonight, the default is that they can come back next year.
And we need to
If
be
you
specific.
choose to terminate it, you need to be specific and say, we would like to move this on for termination of benefits, and that would terminate future benefits as well.
Everybody clear? All right. Council discussion. Mr. Henke.
So unless we find to terminate, correct me, but it sounds as though we're giving them a pass as though they are compliant unless we purposefully terminate. Can I have a definition?
Yeah, no, as I stated, finding of noncompliance doesn't give them a pass. It denies their benefits, and they do not receive their tax benefits for this year. What it does do is it allows them to come back next year, try to meet, allows the phase-in to continue to go on, but they don't get their benefits. Their benefits for this year are terminated. They don't receive them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but it extends their compliance
It doesn't extend
dates.
it. It allows it to continue on the normal schedule. It doesn't add a year at the end. It doesn't extend it. It just allows them to continue
Okay,
with the phase-in
right.
process.
And this would be those whose ERA is still out there.
This would be for folks both within the ERA or who have already had expired ERAs. Either one.
All right, because this could very well be precedent setting.
It's not. It's actually been practice at the county and the city for many years that a finding of noncompliance just meant they didn't get their benefits that year and they were allowed to come back the following year. That's the default setting. I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that.
To be clear, if I may.
Mr. Michelin.
Thank you. So if, for example, we find a company not in compliant for this year, they don't get their benefits this year. But
Correct.
if they come back in 2027 and they are compliant, they will get the benefits for 2027.
Only for 2027.
And they will not get for 2026.
Correct.
Thank you.
Even though they didn't meet the ERA deadline as other companies.
So again, and I want to make sure we understand, the ERA deadline only applies to the actual promise to make the investment promised. The jobs, because jobs and wages fluctuate, those aren't ERA dependent. The ERA timeline only relates to the initial investment that's being measured in the SEA1 or in the SB1.
Okay, because I did have a couple of companies call me today and talk about, and I explained to the fact that we had made an exception of two companies and extended ERA, and that was predominantly for investment side.
Mr. Henke, for the audience, and you, Mike, would you speak to the acronym ERA so they know what that stands
The
for?
Economic Revitalization Area.
Thank you.
But the deadlines of a 5-year abatement and making total investments within that period, I have been on the council 22 years, and we did hold accountable the number of jobs within that same time period. And it sounds as though we're being more liberal in our thinking that it is the least weighted of the three measures. But I just want to make sure that we are clear when we move this forward that that is going to be our understanding as the body that is accountable to it.
Sorry. I don't know that we're having, I think you're making decisions in terms of who's being liberal or not being liberal. I'm not sure I understood that comment. As John pointed out, 4 of the 5 are not at all investment related. They're jobs and wages related, the non-compliance. So those aren't ERA dependent. Those are measured on an annual basis. Investment is measured within the ERA. Typically, if a company asks for an ERA extension, something happened that didn't allow them to make the investment within the 2 to 3 year ERA window that's established that gives them that time frame to make their investment.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, for clarity, being on the abatement committee for too many years, we understood and we really rated the jobs because that was part of the measure. And Mr. Mishler can back that up. We disallowed a couple of them for not being in compliance because of jobs specifically. The two companies that called me today, it was about jobs. We missed the jobs, but as of today, we would be fine. I looked them up in the book. They're out of the ERA. So the reality is we could pass them because it's jobs. And as long as we can say, well, you didn't make this year, but next year you can come back and tell us that you've got the jobs.
That's correct. Because the ERA, the jobs aren't measured by the ERA. The jobs are measured on an annual basis.
Yeah, but if they met the compliance with real and personal improvements, they get the tax deductibility.
If they're not compliant on jobs, then you can find them in non-compliance, even if they've met the investment.
So then they would receive zero benefit for that year, counted
Correct.
as 1 year expired. I just want to make sure we're very clear about what we've done.
That's our decision,
Right.
if we choose to do that. So that's our decision. So
That's correct.
I just find that if we do it for one, we're hard pressed not to do it for each one in that same category.
Again, I think they're making their case this evening why these decisions to not meet the thresholds were beyond their own, were outside of their control.
Well, 0 jobs in comparison to 57 of 63,
And that's what I'm going to do.
it's a slippery slope.
Mr. Mishler.
Yes, I had a couple specific questions, Drew, just regarding this one. Can you just give a brief overview of why they were found not to be in compliance?
Thank you, Councilman Mishler. Drew Wines, Economic Development. ATC, American Technology Components, approved for 10-year real property, 5-year personal property tax abatement in 2021. They built a new headquarters, invested, I believe about $20 million in new building, and made the capital investment, real personal property, but they have been under last few years for new jobs and wages. And
What was the amount of jobs initially in the SB1, and did they report?
68, and then no new jobs have been added. There are company representatives up here tonight that can speak to the economic and industry factors that have led to that.
Okay, thanks, Drew. I just wanted folks here who aren't necessarily as well versed in the tax abatement situation to kind of be on the same level as the rest of it. I appreciate that.
Stay there,
Thank
Drew.
you.
Drew, if I remember correctly, I think ATC had committed to about 10 million in investment. Do you remember the number for?
I believe their real property investment was near 20 million.
But I think they had applied for 10 million and they actually invested 20, if I remember
In
correctly.
23, correct.
Yeah.
One second.
Because to me, it's difficult.
Alex, one
Sorry,
second.
go ahead.
I think we have someone in the audience from the company. Would you like to come and state your name? And Alex, you're still on.
Okay. And I'm sorry, I don't have it in front of me, but I think I remember it was around a $10 million commitment and it ended up being 20 plus.
Yeah. Jordan Hester's the CFO over at American Technology Components. So I was going to touch on a few things, but to answer yours to begin with.
Thank you.
Yes, it was a $13.9 million is what we said we would hit, and we came in well over 23 million. So 165% of what we said we would hit. So I know that's only half of the process. The other half is obviously the head count. So as Drew stated, we didn't hit any of the new jobs. However, if you look at the total wages we said we would hit with those new jobs, just because we've been increasing our wage so much over the past few years, we're at 87% of the total wages we said we would hit. So our actual hourly rate has gone up about 43% higher than what we said it would be. So I get it, the head count. If you were looking at total dollars, which is where some of the local tax is going to come back from, it's based on total dollars, not head count, we would be at 87%. And then also, like I said, the 165% of the actual investment, which again is where dollars are going to come back to the city. So a couple things that I just want to touch on. I don't want to take too much of your time. Those were the two main things that I at least wanted to point out in hopes that you guys would consider approving it, marking us in compliance. So when this abatement started, when it was applied for in 2021, unfortunately, That was the biggest year on record for the RV industry. You had the 600,000 units. So fast forward to 2025, and the RV market was actually down 43%. So even if it had only been down 25%, I mean, we still would have had to hire in, bring in the headcount that we said we would. Obviously, I don't think we necessarily predicted that it would crash that hard. We obviously knew it wasn't going to stay as high as it was, but the biggest crash that we have seen so far wasn't necessarily anticipated. So down 43%, and even through, I just saw a report this morning, even through this year now, through June, it's down another 14%. So, and we're actually at about 165, 166 employees here recently. So we have gone up from where we were last year a little bit, even with the 14% decline so far this year. So those were a couple points. The other thing I wanted to just point out is once we have moved into that area, built the facility, we've been there for a couple years now, we're starting to see it develop in other areas. So right next, it'd be right to our southwest. We have it looks like a new facility going up there. I believe it's an injection molding facility. Could just be a rumor, but I'd heard just recently in the last month or so that the property to our north was, I know it's for sale. I heard that it had gotten bought. I don't know if that's true or not, but so you obviously see now that we put the money into that area, now you have all these other companies coming in and investing in the area as well. So I know it had sat vacant for a long time. How many years, I'm not sure. Our owner said he thought at least 20 plus years that it was kind of a vacant lot. So just a couple things to consider and see if you could mark us in compliance based off those. So,
Thank you. Questions? Mr. Mission.
So to be clear on your SB 1, originally you had 177 current jobs, and the predicted was going to be an additional 68 new jobs. And right now we're under the original 177. We're at between 165 and 167.
You are correct, yes.
I know last year, we kind of ran into a similar situation with y'all, and the market was downturn. There was a lot of discussion about onshoring, some procedures from China and things like that. At the same time, the community, the taxpayers were promised 68 additional jobs due to this.
Right.
What do you have planned in the next 6 months and in the next year to either diversify new product lines, something to create some of those jobs that were originally brought to us? Is there anything planned there that we can work with you on this?
Yeah, so I mean, we're obviously moving in the right direction. I know if you look at 2024 to 2025, the numbers have gone up some. We did talk about the tooling that we brought back. I think we're up to about 20 different molds that we brought back from China now over the past 12 months or so. That has added a handful of jobs, 5 to 8 jobs. We haven't even started necessarily using all those here yet. They're still kind of in the transition phase. So that should continue to add another handful of jobs. While the industry's down yet another 14% this year, our numbers are up about 3% sales. So we're actually, in answer to your question about diversifying, yes, we're still doing okay even with the constant downturn. That's why our numbers are actually up still a little bit year over year. So yeah, we're kind of, obviously a lot depends on the RV industry from where we sit. I mean, it's 55-ish% of our sales. So can we get to those numbers before the RV industry makes a decent turnaround? No. But while it has been on the downturn, we actually have been hitting other areas and picking up business there and hitting some sales numbers there, so that when the RV industry does turn around, we will see a big jump, not only because the RV industry is up, but because in the meantime, we've worked on some of these other industries.
Thank you.
Questions? Mr. Henke.
Well, I appreciate the pitch. The bottom line is the lack of demand created the lack of number of jobs that were built, new jobs, right? For state rules, to Councilman Holtz's point, we're not allowed to give credit if someone underestimated their investment potential. I mean, we expect companies to know their business better than us, project it better than us. have a game plan better than us. To my knowledge, none of us are in the RV world. I sure would know. But so we appreciate the extra money spent. That is a big deal to us. That is a hard base. You can't take a building away and get a tax credit, really. So I appreciate that. The same with manufacturing equipment. That would be the personal property portion of it. 98.7%, but we're really under state rules not allowed to blend the numbers or anything like that, because then we would be passing all the way through, and there's really no point to an agreement then, because we're not holding up any level. The area that is interesting would be the jobs. And the number of retained jobs, 177, and you actually dropped to 152. And to me, this is probably why Mr. Huber stood up, is to say we can find non-compliance for this year, but not totally take away credits for following years, right? And let you catch up with yourself. I think it was Councilman Mishler said that last year was also one of lack of jobs. So we do have some history. And in all fairness, it's nothing against your company. We appreciate all of the investment and the fact that you're here. Ours is about the measure has to be fair and equal to all other companies that do come before this body. Number one. Number two, everybody wants votes, everybody retain office, all those good things, but it's not about feel good, it's just about numbers. This is one, ladies and gentlemen, that I would feel that we would find non-compliance and allow them to come back in a future year and bring back a different story. But we don't take away in perpetuity their ability to collect on what they've already invested, would be my recommendation.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else in the audience? I want to open up to the public who would like to speak on this
particular topic.
Okay. You're not on this topic? Okay. Thank you. All right. Returning back to the council. Any other council discussion? Melody, would you do?
I don't
Yes.
have a vote to,
You're looking for a motion?
yeah.
Yes, I don't have one.
Okay.
We have a motion
Oh.
to adopt the resolution. We don't have, that's the motion we're voting on, unless you have something different.
But a yes vote would say they're in compliance if you vote in favor of this.
A yes vote would mean that we're going to allow them to be in compliance, yes.
Right.
And a no vote would mean not, and Mr. Hinkie is suggesting that we suspend it for a year, if I'm correct.
Right, that you would find them, you would vote for non-compliance.
Yeah, well, no, you'd have to vote for non-compliance and be specific in our language, as Mr. Huber said, that, they can come back. So is that what you're, is that a motion?
My motion is that we recommend under resolution, give me a minute,
26R39.
The resolution.
26R39 to not be in compliance with the numbers of jobs created.
And what about the year, are you adding the year suspension to come back? I mean, that needs to be made.
Yeah, if I find them not in compliance, they get to come back.
All right,
I'm not
is there a
gonna-
is there a
I'm not
second?
gonna terminate.
That's
Is there-
correct.
hold on,
That's
Mr.
correct.
Huber.
That's the default, right.
Is there a
Just-
second to that motion? Second motion. Council discussion. Melody, would you do a roll call vote on that motion, please?
Councilman Holtz.
No.
Councilman Curry.
No.
Councilwoman King.
No.
Councilman Mishler.
Aye.
Councilman Fish.
No.
Councilwoman Hines.
No.
Councilman Hinkie.
Aye, why do we have rules?
President Dawson.
No. Motion fails.
What's
Would
the
you do a
point?
roll call vote on the resolution, please?
I'm not sure that the resolution has been called for.
Yes,
probably should
somebody
let Aaron
who
say
made the
this.
motion. Who made the motion, Melody?
Mr. Hinkie made a motion for recommend for non-compliance.
All right, so
I would make a motion for compliance.
I have a motion for Mr. Holtz for compliance. Is there a second?
Second.
Second for Mr. Curry. Would you do a roll call vote on that motion?
Councilman Holtz.
Aye.
Councilman Curry.
Yes.
Councilwoman King.
Yes.
Councilman Mishler.
No.
Councilman Fish.
Yes.
Councilman Hines.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hines. Councilman Hinkie,
No.
President Dawson.
Aye.
4, 5, 6, 6 to 2.
Motion passes 6-2.
6 to 2.
Or 6-2, yeah.
6-2, yeah. Would you read proposed resolution 26-R-40 by title, please?
Proposed resolution 26-R-40, resolution of the Common Council of the City of Elkhart, Indiana, determining whether Marine Realty LLC, DBA Bennington Marine South, has made reasonable efforts to be substantially compliant with their statement of benefits.
Thank you. Can I get a motion and a second to adopt this resolution?
Motion to accept,
Got a
to
motion by
adopt.
Mrs. Hines, second by Mr. Mishler.
Good evening, Council. Drew Wines, Economic Development. Bennington Marine has a 5-year real property phase-in. They were approved in 2022. They completed the capital investment part of their project, building a new building, $3.7 million. They were under for jobs. They are at 73% compliant for new jobs hired of 14 of 19. And there's a company representative here tonight that can talk more about their business and their industry.
Thank you. Any questions for Drew? Thank you, Drew. Will the representative from the industry please step forward?
Hi, Mike Shadovy. I'm the general manager of Bennington Marine. So just a couple of comments I want to make. As was mentioned, there was the capital investment that we made in the building. The second component was jobs and what that was looking like. We had 125 heads in place at the time, and the total commitment was to bring that to 144. We are currently sitting at 125 jobs in place. Similar to the RV industry, we've had a lot of the marine market going down unexpectedly. In 2024, it was down in the low teens. In 2025, the market was down in the low teens. And again, in 2026, the market's down year to date about 9%. So we've been fighting that and making investments to position ourselves as best as possible for the future. A couple things that I'll note are while the jobs have not gone up as much as we had hoped, we've been investing in the workforce and doing a lot with up-talenting. We've launched a program called the Master Builder Program. We're bringing in individuals and training them to be exceptional boat builders. This has helped us across the board to up-talent our staff in the South Building, where the average wage has gone up 26%. And so while we have not brought on as many positions as we would have liked, we've been able to bring in more talented workforce and train people where we're able to increase the wage rate and support the business that way so that when the market comes back, we'll be well positioned to bring in more staff and have master builders to train them and take advantage of that situation. A couple other things I'll mention is we've been making investments in some work programs with the local schools. We're launching a new paint facility here to help support that south production line where there are going to be some new jobs in the area on that. And we also relaunched a new lineup of premium boats called our QX series, where we invested over $1 million in tooling to be able to help capture some market share and bring more jobs when the market starts to come back. So those are the things that I wanted to share.
Questions? Mr. Hines.
Which local schools are you working with?
So we've been working
School
with,
district.
so we've started working with Ivy Tech on some activities there. And then we've had conversations at Elkhart and Jimtown to look at programs that we can do to start recruiting there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Hinkie.
Were you here in the original presentation from Bennington?
I did not present, but I was here in the crowd.
Because the presenters stated that there was a new competitor, and that was the hurt to the business of Bennington was because a new pontoon maker was just down the road, and I heard that loud and clear. And so that's why I wanted to come into your discussion with if that was really the case, because historically Bennington was always a leader And if a new company, brand new made up company can come in and make that much dent in your market, that would indicate something else. So I just wanted to have clarification on that particular issue.
So when I say I was here, that was for the original request, I think in 2023.
Oh, this would have been like 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, I was not here for
Okay,
that update.
because
That was
they
Sean-
went a different direction.
That
They
was Sean
talked to,
Kruger, our CFO. I can mention that from a competition standpoint, there are actually 5 new boat companies that started this past year. And so if that's what you're referring to, or if that's what was discussed the last time, there are certainly still boat companies that are starting up and going after the marketplace. I was not here, so I'm not sure what the context was entirely.
right, you're talking about the overall RV industry and,
Boats.
yeah, and then boats down. Well, there's 5 new in the market, so boats still must be in demand.
They are in demand, but the entire market, because we get market overall data, that's what I referred to as was down
Okay.
13% and high teens, and then 9% year to date.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'll open up to the public. Is there anyone in the public that would like to speak with regards to this resolution? Seeing none, return it back to the council for council discussion. Mr. Hinkie.
Yeah, the only area of concern for me is in our process, and that is, I thought we had some good tonight tutelage on compliance, non-compliance, but it looks as though we're not even going to go with that. So whether we actually just take jobs out of the mix of measures and make it a little bit more clean, because we're not following any rules here.
You have a motion to make, or is that just a comment?
And the other comment is I won't be attending any future committee meetings of abatements. So we don't have rules, so there's the point.
So you're not making a motion, you're just making a comment. I just want to be clear.
Exactly. This is
Okay,
not
is there
measurable.
anyone that wants to make a motion? If,
We already have one, don't we?
yes, I mean, an amendment to the motion.
Oh.
I mean, other than,
I would make a motion to find Bennington in compliance.
we have a motion
Second.
by Mr. Holtz, second by Mr. Curry. Melody, would you do a roll call motion, please?
Councilman Holtz.
Aye.
Councilman Curry.
Yes.
Councilwoman King.
Yes.
Councilman Mishler.
No.
Councilman Fish.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hines.
Yes.
Councilman Hinkie.
No.
President Dawson.
Aye.
6-2.
Thank you. Melody, would you read proposed resolution 26-R-41-1?
Point of order?
Yes, yes. And you have that on your desk right now? Make sure you pick it up.
Says revised at the top.
Pardon? So you have that, David, you have it? Tonda, you got it? Everybody got it?
Yes.
There appears to be a Scribner's error of sorts with the naming of the resolution. It should be 26-R-what was it?
41?
41R. We don't use a decimal system in our amendments.
I have a
so-
motion and a second to amend the resolution title.
moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Hines. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Would you read proposed resolution 26-R-41R?
Proposed Resolution 26R-41R, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Elkhart, Indiana, determining whether GDC LLC LAM Corporation has made reasonable efforts to substantially comply with its statement of benefits.
Thank you. Can I get a motion and a second to adopt this resolution?
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Hines, second by Mr. Fish. Council discussion. True.
Good evening, council. So GDC was recently annexed into the city of Elkhart in 2024. They were approved for a 7-year real, 5-year personal tax abatement with the county. And since they were annexed, the city council is now the designating body. They estimated about about an investment of about 5.6 million in real property, which they made, and 2.8 million in personal property. They were under for personal property, but plan to make the investment in the next year and a half. Additionally, they added about over 100 new jobs as well to that Elkhart East location. Their ERA with the county was much shorter than ERAs traditionally are with the city. They were approved in 2024. Their ERA with the county ended at the end of 2025. So if there are community representatives here tonight that will speak to their intent to make the personal property investment. So an ERA extension until December 31, 2027 we would recommend that would be part of the of a vote their compliance if council finds they have made substantial efforts to be in compliance. Additionally, I would like to add they are in compliance for real property, personal properties where they are under. So we would recommend a ruling, even if they are found non-compliant for personal property, we would recommend a ruling that they are compliant for real property. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions for Drew? Seeing none. Anyone in the audience would like to speak?
Brian Harrison, CFO for GDC. Just give you a little bit of history with GDC. This property was originally only, we had 40 members there, employees. We've now brought it up to 144 employees in that 1 year span. The difference being is, as Drew mentioned earlier, is really in the equipment, the real property. And if you were to find us in compliance and allow us to have until December of 27, we would definitely be able to make the additional 1.1 million in the real property following that up.
Mr. Mishler.
Why was the ERA so short from the county? Is that something that you requested, or was that part of the application process, going through the EDC and the county? Because that just seems abnormally short.
I would agree. I wasn't a part of the original discussion with the county, but reading through it and talking to the other members of the company, that was just what the county decided was a 1 year. So we had appropriations to go with that and to follow through with it. With the slight downturn in the electric vehicles, we did pull back on some of that investment that will start back in 2028. And so we need to make that in equipment in order to bring it. But the short term, I wasn't a part of it, unfortunately.
Okay. And regarding the actual equipment, the personal property, you have plans in place to get that put in?
That is correct.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions? Mr. Hinkie.
So we, as Elkhart City, were to be in sync with Elkhart County and adopted their units of measure for abatements. So it's a little confusing how you came in shorter than normal. That's the number one issue I have. The extension of the ERA was talked to, and we did vote that in this last time around. So there is one measure. We've even reduced the threshold from 95% to 90%. And now we're acquiescing on numbers of jobs anyhow, but you still are within the new ERA date. So I find compliance because you still have time with which to fulfill your obligations to the abatement. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else in the audience? Open up to the public. Seeing none, returning back to the council floor. Could I get a motion? Mr. Hinkie, I think you made one. I wasn't sure.
I'm not going to make any motions though, so I'll.
Good idea. Anybody else have a motion?
Well.
Point of order, or question, if I may.
Yes, sir.
So for this motion, it's different than the previous ones because we were also making a motion to extend the ERA, correct?
That's my understanding.
And how long was that extension proposed for?
The proposed extension was until December 31, 2027.
Okay, I will make a motion to find them in compliance and extend the ERA to December 31st, 2027.
Got a motion there, second.
Second.
Second by Ms. Hines. Thank you, Drew.
I did just want to clarify one item.
Yes.
My apologies, council. The ERA is only going to be extended for personal property. The real property, since they completed the investment, does not require an ERA extension. I just wanted to make sure we're clear before the
Add that to your motion.
Clarification of the motion.
He's going to add that.
Okay, I will find them in compliance. I make a motion to find them in compliance of real property and to extend the ERA to December 31st, 2027 for personal property.
Ms. Hines, you second that?
Second.
again? Second. Motion is second. Melody, would you do a roll call vote, please?
Councilman Holtz.
Aye.
Councilman Curry.
Yes.
Councilwoman King.
Yes.
Councilman Mishler.
Aye.
Councilman Fish.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hines.
Yes.
Councilman Hinkie.
Aye.
President Dawson.
Aye.
8-0.
Thank you. Would you read proposed resolution 26-R-42 by title?
Proposed Resolution 26-R-42, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Elkhart, Indiana, determining whether Playcon Corporation has made reasonable efforts to substantially comply with their statement of benefits.
Their motion is second.
Motion.
Got a motion from Ms. Hines approved, second from Mr. Fish. Council discussion.
Good evening, council. In 2020, Playcon was approved for a 7-year real, 5-year personal property tax phase-in. They completed the capital investment portion of their project, investing over $10 million in real property and personal property, but they have been under on jobs the last couple of years. They were previously compliant, but due to issues specific to their industry, they have fallen under the compliance threshold, and there are representatives here from Bennington or from Playcon that can speak to those issues.
Thank you. David, you want to speak to Drew, or you want to speak to the representative?
To Drew.
All right.
But I would say, given the first votes of the first abatements, this is no different. So we would be hard pressed now to deny.
Thank you.
My name is Mike Nielsen, the general manager at Playcon. We started this process with 69 employees. We said we'd get to 96. We're currently at 82 with another 21 temporary associates in the building. My total approved head count right now, if I could hire everybody I wanted to, is 117. We do tempt to hire for the vast majority of our positions, less the engineering, maintenance, those are direct hires. We'd love to hire every single temporary associate we have in the building right now. In the last 3 months, we've cycled through 22 temporaries. Just getting people that will meet our standards, if you will. We went through an exceptional period of growth through the mid 2023 based on lack of raw materials, frankly. It was the toilet paper of the COVID for my industry, where everybody overbought. And then we went through a period of tremendous, we grew 42%, and then we shrunk 38% because everybody was destocking because they overbought. We peaked at 105 employees, full-time Playcon employees. We ended up going through such a downturn, we consolidated our third shift. Didn't lay anybody off. We carried a heavy load for a year and a half to make sure, we're a family-owned business, we can do that. We're back in growth phase, and now we're trying to add heads. So, my goal next week, I'd be at 117 people. Just struggling to get there.
Questions? Ms. Hines?
Would you happen to know of you said it was 22 or 24 temps?
I think we're 22 right now.
22, do you know, would you happen to know how many live in the city of Elkhart?
I don't. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell you. We have 3 agencies. 2 of them are based in Elkhart. One is not based. Our headquarters is Madison, Wisconsin. So we have another agency that's based there, but the vast majority come from our Elkhart groups.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Mishler.
Thank you. This is just a more of a quick question for Drew. Can we legally count temp employees since they work for another company and they are essentially contracted to this facility, this company?
Thank you, Council Minister. So in the SB1 memorandum of agreement and the CF1s, we measure full-time jobs.
So, okay, so we cannot count the temp employees, unfortunately.
They would not count towards CF1 compliance.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Henke.
But I did receive a call today.
I heard.
And I appreciate that. I appreciate the reach out. And my understanding is you're going through a wage review process
We are.
in order to attract employees, because it has been a bit. And there's also a package review as a further enhancement to attract employees. So you're doing those things.
Yes.
And my point to this is that the council cannot find you out of compliance. It's already set the precedent there. I won't vote for it, but you will get passage. But I appreciated the conversation, and I appreciate the fact that you're doing what you have to do to attract those employees, convert them from part-time temp to full-time. So thank you for that. Thank you for being an Elkhart.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I have a question.
Yes.
What is the reason for going through a temp versus hiring just directly from Playcon?
So we've found over the years, many years, I've been there for 19, that if we can get somebody on board for 4 to 6 months, they'll be 20-year employees. Getting them through the first 3 months is extremely difficult. Most of our positions are pretty technical. They're running $1.5 million machines, and just plug and play without knowing the person for a little bit is very difficult.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good. Mr. Holtz.
I just wanted to ask, thank you for being here, Mr. Nielsen. In my mind, the magnitude of the commitment to the community is important. I appreciate I think the real and personal property exceeded $10 million as far as an outlay. So thank you. Do you remember what was on the form and what it ended up being as far as a commitment? And again, $10 million is a hefty sum. And
I believe the form was 6.5, 7. I think we ended up spending about 13.
Yep.
Okay, so again, I want to introduce the idea that the magnitude is important to me. It's not the jobs aren't important. Jobs are very important. It sounds like maybe you're struggling to find employees that can do what you need them to do, and that is part of the reason that we're not at the target of 96.
Yeah, 2 things. Finding employees is tough. We also went through a strange downturn that my industry doesn't usually see.
So thank you for the magnitude of your commitment to the community and also your employees.
Well, thank you. And I hate using forward-looking statements, but part of my new position is I'm evaluating a $9 million expansion for 2028.
I hope that goes well.
I do too.
Thank you.
Mr. President.
Yes.
So the good news about the jobs, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do, reevaluate compensation and find a way to attain, right? And I would remind all of us, quite honestly, the more jobs, the wages for all these same jobs, the demand for employees pushes wages up. And that's one of the things where Elkhart does lag. And so jobs are critical for all employees because the fewer of them, the greater demand, the more you have to pay to get the right ones in place, right? And your company is a great example of that. So jobs are a critical factor if you're really looking to push wages up. Thank you, sir.
Thank
you. Thank you, sir. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak with regards to this resolution? Seeing none, return it back to council floor. Council discussion. Seeing none. Melody, would you do a roll call vote on this resolution, please?
Can you state a formal resolution?
We need a motion.
Yeah, we need a motion.
Alex, are you looking?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so bad with the wording on this. So I would make a motion to find that Playcon Corporation has made reasonable efforts to substantially comply with its statement of benefits.
I would second that.
Got a motion from Mr. Holtz, second from Mrs. Hines. Melody, would you do a roll call vote on the motion?
Councilman Holtz.
Aye.
Councilman Curry.
Yes.
Councilwoman King.
Yes.
Councilman Mishler.
No.
Councilman Fish.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hines.
Yes.
Councilman Hinkie. President Dawson.
Aye.
6-2.
Okay. Would you do a roll call vote on proposed?
Good.
I didn't make roll call.
Okay.
Trying to find it. Would you read proposed resolution 26-R-42?
43.
43.
By title?
Proposed Resolution 26-R-43, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Elkhart, Indiana, determining whether Acropac Incorporated, DBA Voyant Beauty, and MVYT LLC has made reasonable efforts to substantially comply with its statement of benefits.
Got a motion and a second to adopt this resolution.
Motion to adopt this resolution.
Got a motion for Mrs.
Second.
Hines, second for Mr. Fish, Mr. Wines.
Thank you, Council. So Voyant Beauty was approved in 2024 for a 5-year personal property tax phase-in. They invested over $3.3 million in new equipment, but they were under on jobs. This is their very first year submitting. It's the first year being assessed. And they're as we measure jobs every year, their economic revitalization area is still active. And in the past, especially the first year, council has considered that. We're reviewing both jobs and capital investment. There are representatives from Voyant here this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions of Drew? Seeing none, I'll open.
Actually, I do have one. Drew, do you have a recommendation on compliance, non-compliance for this one?
We want to provide as much procedural context as we can, but we as staff do not want to give formal recommendations. We really appreciate your question, Council and Holtz, but we want to provide as much context and let the company speak to the investment they made in their business, in their industry, and provide all the procedural context. And councils that since council is a designating body, has the agreement between the company and council.
Mr. Hinkie.
Same discussion. It's about jobs. We've set precedent now. We're done. Thank you.
Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak with regards to this resolution?
Hey, good evening. Sheldon Cressy, General Manager for Voyant Beauty.
Nicholas Clem, Plant Controller.
Yeah, so we have met our personal property. We are short on jobs. The end of the 2026 is staying flat for us. And we are seeing a little bit of an uptick for 2027. Not sure yet it'll be enough to get all the jobs we need for 2027. So it's kind of where we're at. We're trying to maintain the equipment and the capabilities of it during this lull, and maintenance and support of the equipment.
Questions? Seeing none, thank you. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak with regards to this resolution? Seeing none, return it back to council. Mr. Hinkie.
Drew, the ERA.
Their ERA ends at the end of 2027.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Can I get a motion on this resolution? Tax abatement.
I don't have the verbiage.
If there is no motion, it will fail because it doesn't get a motion. So I'm going to ask that again. Mr. Hinkie.
They have an ERA of 2027. I would make a motion to find Resolution 26R33 in compliance with Statement of Benefits.
I think it's 26R43. Just want to make sure I'm
Sorry?
tracking correctly.
Say that again, Alex.
I think it's 26R43. I'm sorry, Mr. Hinkie. I thought I heard 33, which is the next one.
It's 43, David.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we're.
Mine says 33 on it.
Oh, really? Okay.
But we're on
We're
40.
on 43. It might.
There's a 33, but that's next.
Yeah.
You're ahead of the game. Page 9.
Let me just, sorry?
Page 9, or,
Page 9.
yeah. Previous one.
So it's
was
43, 26R43.
43,
Yep.
43.
Just for clarification, this says.
Wait, David. Now, he just seconded your motion. Do you still want to go through with that motion?
I want to go through with that motion, but I'm just saying
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Hinkie.
What you're reading off of.
Furion is dated agenda or resolution 33 on mine.
We're not talking about Furion.
That's the next one.
That's the next one, David. We're not on Furion.
Give me a motion. I'm taking that motion back.
You sure?
Thank you.
Okay. You going to withdraw your second?
I apologize.
I'll withdraw my second.
All right. Is there a
So-
motion on this particular resolution?
Okay, I will make the motion to find Voyant Beauty in substantial compliance with their statement of benefits.
And I will second that
Is
motion.
there a second? A second motion by Mr. Mishler, second by Mrs. Hines. Council discussion. Seeing none. Melody, would you do a roll call vote, please?
Councilman Holtz.
Aye.
Councilman Curry.
Yes.
Councilwoman King.
Yes.
Councilman Mishler.
Aye.
Councilman Fish.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hines.
Yes.
Councilman Hinkie.
Aye.
President Dawson.
Aye.
8-0.
Thank you. Would you read proposed resolution 26-R-33 by title, please?
Proposed Resolution 26-R-33, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Elkhart, Indiana, determining whether to waive the failure of Furion LLC to timely file the annual statement of compliance with Statement of Benefit Forms, Form CF-1 RP, and whether Furion LLC is in substantial compliance with its Statement of Benefits and Commitment and Payment Agreement approved by the Elkhart County Council.
Thank you. Can I get a motion and a second? To adopt
Motion
this?
to adopt this resolution.
Second. Motion by Mrs. Hines, second by Mr. Fish. Council discussion. Drew.
Thank you, Council. So following the May 15th CF1 submission deadline, we received an update from the EDC stating they received a CF1 from Furion LLC. Furion is a subsidiary of Lippert, and they were acquired in 2021. In 2015, the County Council approved a 10-year real property abatement for Furion to build a new headquarters. That is now a headquarters for Lippert. This location was recently annexed into the city, and they did not submit a CF1 to city offices or county offices. A CF1 was received by the EDC and has been forwarded to both the offices now. So we are presenting a waiver of noncompliance for the late submission, giving council the opportunity to approve their CF1. So 2027 paid, 2028 is the final year of Furion's tax abatement. Additionally, the company is 80% compliant with real property improvements. They estimated $4 million and invested about 3.2. We do want to highlight this is a corporate headquarters in Elkhart East, and they added 29 new jobs with an average annual salary of $358,000. And it's our understanding they've consistently been rule in compliance by the Elkhart County Council. And we have a representative here this evening.
Questions? I guess, I think somebody asked about that salary before. What did you say that annual salary is?
$358,000.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Drew. Council discussion. Seeing none, I'll open up to the public. Is there anyone in the public who would like to speak on this resolution?
Good evening, Ryan Richter, tax manager at Lippert. I basically want to highlight much of what Drew already mentioned, the job commitments, 29 over the 20. The 4 million was Furrion from 2017. We acquired them in 2021. Since that acquisition, we moved our executive team into this building and officially made it the corporate headquarters. Although it doesn't technically count, we've invested another 500,000 into that facility. So we historically we filed it with Chris Steger, the CF1, and we learned that we were being annexed by the city, but we didn't receive information that we needed to file the abatement or the CF1 with the city. So we understand that, and we'll definitely follow that process in the future.
Any questions? Well, a couple of us are retired. Did you bring any job applications?
I'm not in that building, so I agree. I'd like to be as well.
Brent Curry and I were wondering, we have time on our hands. All right, thank you, sir. Is there anyone else in the audience who would like to speak on this proposed resolution? Seeing none, we turn back to the council. Any discussion? Seeing none, could I get a motion on this resolution?
Yeah, I'd like to make the motion that we find them in substantial compliance based on the numbers, especially with them new wages.
Second. Second by Mrs. Hines.
Second. Oh.
Council discussion.
Did you do a second?
I did.
Seeing none. Melody, would you do a roll call vote, please?
Councilman Holtz.
Aye.
Councilman Curry.
Yes.
Councilwoman King.
Yes.
Councilman Mishler.
Aye.
Councilman Fish.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hines.
Yes.
Councilman Hinkie. President Dawson.
Aye.
8-0.
Thank you. There are no vacations for public hearings. Other new business. Any other new business? Mr. Mishler.
Yeah, I just want to congratulate our Parks Department and everyone, buildings and grounds, anyone and everyone who participated in the 250 America 250 celebration downtown. It was a fantastic event. It was great to see so many people downtown in the First District enjoying food trucks, enjoying community, and it was just great to see. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Mr. Hinkie.
A couple of things, and that would be Redevelopment Commission meeting, June 9, 26, 4 p.m. Page 2 speaks to sending out RFPs for furniture, fixtures, and equipment for the city office space at Woodland Crossing. I would like to have a heads up on city office space at Woodland Crossing, what we have, what is the budget. It also, in two other areas, same page, talks about other expenditures for Woodland Crossing. There's a budget adjustment of $36,654. And I'm wondering if Woodland Crossing has its own budget through redevelopment and where those dollars are coming from. I think the council should be aware of that expenditure and the city's future of that area. Should have been a presentation. Secondly, 4 sessions ago now, I asked for code enforcement's reports as to the number of letters, citations, and then subsequent compliance specific to code enforcement. Still have nothing. However, there is a nice report that says here's how many complaints, overall complaints per district, what type of complaints. It says nothing about resolution of the same complaints. And I think that's where code enforcement clearly should have some way to measure how many they have closed. Because the complaints I get about code enforcement is they stop calling because it's a year or 2 years later and the tickets are closed, but the problem remains. And that's a real problem. I found that myself. Secondly, I did ask for the number of hours that a consultant, Stephanie Cole, has put in for the city year to date. I don't have that. I asked for Aurora Capital measures, and that would be the total outstanding loans, the total receipts, as well as the total delinquents and resolution to the delinquents. I think taxpayers would really like to know that. I do get an Aurora Capital meeting minutes, which tell us exactly nothing. It just says, discussion about. The discussion's not labeled, and there are no dollar values assigned to it. So I think that's very disappointing when departments paid as what they're paid should have outcomes. I did receive, Megan, thank you, the financials and reports that I did request that same meeting, and you have kept me updated based on that. And I know that for other departments that have given me callbacks, I appreciate their responsiveness. Mike Leitner was here earlier. He ducked before I could compliment him. I did receive compliments online for Parks Department, and I pointed out those people that water plants and do the plantings and all of those things. So thank you for that effort and leadership.
Mr. Fish.
I'd like to recognize Andy Jones and the Elkhart Municipal Airport staff for arranging some flyovers and some opportunities for the public. If you've noticed over the last week, the B-29 flying over and the T-6, it was through kind of a, and we also had the Goodyear blimp here, which is a regular thing. We're a staging area for about a second-tier staging area for the blimp and some other airplanes that fly to the Oshkosh Air Adventure this week every year in July. But due to some snafus, the B-29, the Fifi B-29, and the T-6 ended up at our airport because two other airports couldn't get their act together, but Andy arranged them to land here, to buy our fuel here, and spend money in hotels and restaurants for a week and give the public rides. And I got to ride and actually fly a T-6 trainer, an 84-year-old airplane, and it was pretty magical. But it's a great testament to how hard Andy is working to make sure the airport is always viable. And yeah, the T-6 was landing on that newly paved runway, and it was a very, very good week. So just thanks again, the maintenance staff there, Karen Shaw and Andy Jones. We had a great week of interaction with the airport. Thank you.
Any other new business? Ms. Hines.
I just want to piggyback on some of the comments in regards to the departments and leadership and working. And I think that speaks to the testament of the administration and how they're leading with department heads and the response time. And although I think we all, 9 of us, he's not here, but from whatever time to time we reach out, I think it's more positive than negative, even if the outcome is not always what we would like it to be or the timeliness. So I think that speaks to the testament of just everybody working together. So kudos to all the department heads because we have, with these storms and what have you, working with neighborhood associations or HOAs and the 9 of us, it can be a little daunting. So kudos to all departments of the city and the council. So thank you.
I was wondering, maybe a straw poll on how the council feels about a moratorium on data centers. I mean, is that something that we would support at some point in time? I mean, I'm seeing some head nods. Is that something we think we ought to be looking into to move forward until we get a better understanding of what data centers look like nationally.
Right, if that's what it takes to take time, because, to make sure we get a good deal if somebody would approach us, because I think that's where a lot of communities, they rushed in too soon, and now they don't like what they have. I think we need to make sure if we ever do something like that, it's an excellent deal for Elkhart and the future of Elkhart. So, I'm not in no hurry into rushing into any deal that come forward. But, so if we would look at a moratorium, I'd consider that. But like I said, I'm ready to move forward if the deal was right for Elkhart. But only if it's a great deal for Elkhart, where we'd be a better off as a city for a long time that they came.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Curry. No. I just wanted to piggyback because I agree 100% with what Mr. Curry said. When I talk to people, it's the process they really don't like, the lack of transparency. If we're talking about a really good deal where potentially the amount of taxes that they were going to pay or the amount of money going to schools or other public safety, other things that are top of mind for people, city services, if it's a good deal, it's transparent, doesn't seem to be a downside, I think the majority of taxpayers would say, sure, go for that. But again, they want the transparency and they want to know that it's a good deal. And I don't know how we get to that point. If going for a moratorium for a period of time to get people to be serious about those things, I mean, I would be in favor of that. I'm in favor of good deal and transparency and serious.
Fish.
So I think that, how much time do we have?
You have 3 minutes.
I believe we owe the taxpayers and citizens of Elkhart a good conversation about this very high-level technology and all of the aspects around it, whether they're good or bad. But we really need to have a community conversation to make sure that we take the temperature of what our community can tolerate as far as data centers go.
And the reason I ask that is because we as elected officials need to be informed. So when we're talking to the public, we're speaking with facts. So that's why maybe a moratorium will give us time to do that, to gather that, to look at the different deals that have been made, good and bad, and what benefit, because we only want to do what's beneficial for the constituency. So that's what I'm thinking about. Mr. Hinkie.
Being in conversation with Bristol, St. Joe County commissioners, as well as state level, and it's a good discussion. We all want AI. We all want to be at the edge of the market, but not at the cost of our communities. And I think we're all saying the same thing. It needs to be slow enough that technology comes up with itself. I'm learning as I go to hear these other people communicate about it. I like the fact that there are different coolant systems available now, and those are improving as we go. I think there's a reason why they're spending so much money to get in somewhere, because they're really pushing the market. But it also says how much resistance is there. If you would look at national statistics, they're very available to all of us. How many have been denied? Those that have accepted early now regret that they did not, the new technology was maybe not available at the time. It is. The area of concern continues. The sound deadening has to be addressed. That would be problematic. I would think that it's more to the county to possibly hold over some land, be mindful that it's going to take acres on top of acres on top of acres. It will devalue everything in its path, hence St. Joe Farm and Granger. That's going to be a legal mess before it's done. They're rushing as fast as they can. But I do think that 6 months from now, we'll probably be at a different place again. That technology will catch up and we will have improved. So when is the best time to go in? A moratorium just says we need discussions. I think that's probably appropriate. I don't think any of us are opposed to future, but we don't want to sacrifice our community and quiet neighborhoods and so on while we pursue the dollar. if that's fair.
And that's a conversation that we want to have, Mr. Mishler.
Thank you. And I just want to say that sometimes caution is beneficial. I'll point out the wheel tax that we just discussed. When SB1 passed last year, we were informed, like many communities, that we'd have to pass a wheel tax in order to be eligible for community crossing matching grants, which caused communities to rush forward and pass it. Goshen, for example, passed one, which led to their residents being double taxed. Elkhart, in the administration and council, we did not pursue that at the time. And legislation changed at the State House, and as such, our citizens avoid that double tax because we took the time to listen, we took the time to be cautious, and we took the time to learn. I think there are potentially great advances when it comes to technology of making things safer, of making things smarter. But for me, we need to balance being pro-business and also listen to our constituents, pro-environment. And I think the best way forward to do that is to follow the similar path that we did with the wheel tax of not rush into anything, of let's listen, let's learn, and let's do what's best for our constituents.
Thank you. Okay. We'll be having a conversation with the administration about that, see how we want to move forward. Okay, report Mayor, Board of Works, Board of Safety, department heads.
I'm Megan Arwen, Chief of Staff. First, I want to wish Councilman Curry happy birthday.
Thank you.
I also want to wish our First Lady, Gina Robertson, a happy birthday as well, which is why Mayor is not here tonight. We would like to invite Jameson to come forward and give a brief overview of the great things that have been happening in the Parks Department.
No problem. He's fine.
Hey.
You know, both of your pictures are on many wall pictures up there, so careful. Happy birthday, by all means. And it is Parks and Rec month, so I'm happy to be able to do this just before we end the month. If you've been paying attention, Parks has been very busy. It's been an exciting year. I think we're making a lot of great strides throughout our operations. We're becoming more efficient, more effective as a team within the Parks Department. I personally have heard quite a few, you guys are doing really good, so I hope you guys are hearing the same. Of course, I have a healthy amount of you can do this better here, so we're not out yet, but it's good things. All right, so I'm going to go over sort of some divisions stuff just so that you're aware kind of the full gamut, but I won't try to bore you and elongate this. But so much is going on. I'll focus over the summer, but from our programs division, we're averaging right now about 120 programs each year. We're 62 programs so far this year, so we've served about 1,500 people so far. We think we'll probably hit about 2,500 by the end of the year. The event side, and I should say that if you've paid attention, the Full Moon Kayaking continues to be our most popular program, but the Mermaid and Plant Bingo are not far behind. The events, the Farmers Market has seen productive events each week, estimating around 2,000 people per market, somewhere between 30 to 50 vendors each week. So that's really blossomed and grown. Most of our big events are completed. We saw great success, as Councilman Mishler noted, that the 250th celebration, we estimated about 11,000 people over there at the Rap City Arts and Music Fest this past June, even with the storms, and kudos to every city department to help us out with that, mostly buildings and grounds, to get us up and going after the storms. I did think we were going to have to cancel it, but we were able to pull through and served 26,000 people throughout that event, which was great. We continue to see the series events going well. Art Walk that we've continued to take on, the Summer Chill Concert Series, and the concerts in the park at McNaughton. We continue to work on those and see productive numbers. Our aquatics has not been as fortunate as our activities divisions. They have had a bit of a maintenance hiccup here and there, and so Pier Moran Pool was not open as long, but McNaughton had a couple days where it had a pump failure this summer, so numbers were low and revenue is down, but Still, even with those days that we were off, we still pulled so far this year about $115,000 in revenue. The best part about that is that when things are operational and when people are able to make it, the feedback has been extremely positive about what they're finding. The improvements, the customer service, we're excited to be able to offer that, and we have big plans to continue. So our rangers are out there every day. We currently have 2 full-time rangers and 2 part-time rangers. They've talked to directly 11,000 people this summer alone. Throughout this year, probably up to 40,000 by now. So it's been a really great opportunity for them to be able to engage in the community in a way that the police respectfully cannot always. When you don't carry a gun, when you don't have that authority behind you, it creates a personable relationship with our community members. So they pick up trash, they talk to people, and they help us keep an eye on the parks. Our CAPRA status, you know that we've been going after CAPRA accreditation, the national accreditation that tells us and confirms that we're a great parks agency. We're 65% of the way through now, and we hope to be done with our CAPRA standards, of which there's 150 to meet by the end of the year. So we'll go to the National Parks Conference this year, we'll apply, and then by next year, we hope to be designated as a nationally accredited agency. Our capital projects, we've been heavy with Ulrey Park, soon to be Edith Pasley Park, as you know. That will be August 8th for our ribbon cutting. It's coming together quite well. We'll be ready for that in time. We're continued to be grateful to the community members, both private organizations, private donors, and businesses who have stepped up to support not just our events and programs, but also our capital projects as well. We are going to be doing an RFP for the Lundquist and Ulrey Park restroom buildings next month. And then we're currently working on the high dive restoration around the pond there still, and doing a Roosevelt basketball court renovation. Outside of that, we're focusing in on the geese management that we've all loathed hearing about, ourselves included. It's no doubt it's a nuisance, and we've been taking stabs at it each year, but honestly, it's time to get a lot more serious. So that's what we're doing. We received a NIPSCO grant for $5,000, and with their help, we'll be putting in a lot more work towards this initiative over the next year, and more of that to come. But throughout this past year, and our team continues to do great things. We're working hard. We're blessed to have passionate people in place who are willing to give their time and talent and treasure to us. Parks is like any public division. It's difficult on the day-to-day to hear, but I'm grateful and proud of the team that we built, and looking forward to continue serving. Thanks.
Thank you, Jameson. Neighborhood Association reports. The Neighborhood Association reports. Mr. Curry.
Yeah, I'd like to report that the Pierre Moran Neighborhood Association, we have a meeting scheduled for this Sunday, August the 2nd. It's an outdoor meeting. We meet 3 months outside. We've looked at the extended forecast, and it's supposed to rain. But if it rains, we'll adjust because we don't have the pavilion reserved for these 3 months. And we might have to adjust to my house, but we still plan to meet one way or another and discuss some neighborhood issues. Thank you.
Also, we have a meeting at City Hall, Parks in the City Hall. What is it, Alex? You want to?
Yeah, we have a reinvention and a retooling of Let's Talk Tuesday. We wanted to try and boost attendance, so we have our first one. It's called City Hall in the Park. It's an opportunity to come out, enjoy free hot dogs. Police department will be doing snow cones. We'll have games out there, a good playground. But it's also an opportunity where you can have access to city leadership. We'll have council members out there, and we'll have almost all of our department heads accessible. So we're trying to get a little bit of both, where city leadership's available, but it's also we're not in a room that's kind of stuffy, and it's a little more fun and hopefully engaging, and more people will be encouraged to come out this year. And the first one is going to be at Weston Park on Tuesday, from 6 to 8 p.m. And Weston Park is on Michigan Street, right by Cappy's, if you don't know where that is.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, privilege of the floor. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on anything that was not on the agenda tonight? Please come forward and state your name.
Ralph Spellbring again. I just wanted to point out that the Gordie Howe Bridge connecting Detroit and Windsor opened today. This is the busiest border crossing in the world. It was a $6 billion project. I heard that the cost for cars and pickups is $575. I started delivering commercial vehicles to Canada in 2011. At that time, we paid a fee to cross the border. I think it was 2014. Commercial vehicles became free, but cars and pickups still had to pay. With the unstable character of Donald Trump in the White House, I don't know what the situation is now.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience? Seeing none. I'm sorry.
We got one here.
Hello, I'm David Miro. I need to sign in to make this legal?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I have some documents I'd like to submit to the city council tonight.
I'll give them to our
Should I do
council
that?
secretary.
Should I do that after I give my?
That's fine, but yes, you can do it before or after, however
Either
you want to do
one?
it. Either one is fine.
Okay, thank you, sir. I'll do it afterwards then.
Okay.
Do I have roughly 3 to 5 minutes? Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you all. Thanks for your time. So on July 9th, 2026, I submitted a citizen complaint to the Elkhart Police Department via email, copying the mayor, the city council president, and the Police Merit Commission board clerk. This was followed by certified mail sent to the police department on July 14th. I requested a response by July 24th to davemerau@gmail.com, and thus far have received none. I showed up for the Police Merit Commission meeting this morning, only to find it had been inexplicably canceled. Therefore, I have come for City Council today, July 27th, 2026, to bring a summary of my report to your attention and to place my full written complaint on the public record. Written copies of my complete 10-page complaint will be provided to each City Council member along with the mayor and acting chief of police during this meeting. 8 Elkhart Police Department officers are listed, along with their associated violations. Among them are criminal actions such as false arrest, unlawful search, warrantless search of digital devices, First Amendment retaliation, conspiracy against rights, and obstruction of official proceedings. Constitutional violations cover the First Amendment, Fourth Amendment, and 14th Amendment. 10 specific police department policy violations are documented in detail. Obstruction of justice, namely subpoena noncompliance and evidence violation, are also included. Numerous outstanding discovery obligations are noted. My complaint also highlights the contrast between the Elkhart Police Department's purported mission and values versus the historic and present reality, demonstrated in part by the necessity of my appearance today. Thank you for the opportunity to inform you of this matter.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else in the audience? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing.
Move to accept the communications.
Got a motion to accept communications. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Fish, second by Mr. Hines. Mrs. Hines, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Motion for adjournment.
Second.
Got a motion to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those of us that want to join us for Frank Curry's birthday party, where are we going? We'll go to Michael's for Brent Curry's birthday party if you want to join us.
We were at last week.